get ready for this. My main topic is this judgment. This is a learned habit. Your brain is going to say, whoa, what's going on? We've never done this before. The number one thing is asking yourself, what is going on right now?
This is called Global Educators, a space for all of the coaches and amazing experts and educators to come together and just share their expertise and their mission to the world. Gigi is a speaker, life coach, mentor, and an organizational leader who helps individuals and teams turn their fear into confidence. With a background in leadership and operations, Gigi has trained high-performing teams and developed future leaders in a fast-paced environment. And please introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. Well, I was a former operations leader, now turned into a keynote speaker and a life and success coach. So I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. I am still based out of Miami, Florida. And I have made friends all over the world, so many coaches, so many speakers, so many entrepreneurs and business leaders. And my main mission here is to make sure that before you leave this earth, before you go to your next chapter, that you are living in alignment and in purpose, and that you do and take action on all of the dreams and all of the goals that you have while you are still here.
I love that. I love that mission, and that also aligns with my message. What are the main niche topics that you speak on as a keynote speaker?
Okay, get ready for this. My main topic is to take action. Although there are so many things behind taking action, there's the decision making part, there's the overcoming of the obstacles, there's overcoming fear such as the fear of judgment, fear of loss, fear of failure. We need to be able to look at all of those topics, all of those subjects before you even take action, right? It's kind of like when you are driving, before you even get behind the wheel, you want to see where it is that you're going. Do you have your seatbelt on? So when it comes to taking action, I go through so many subjects such as overcoming obstacles, fear, decision making, alignment, self-awareness, motivation, and more than anything, taking steps and organizational planning that fits best for you in order for you to complete the actual goal or dream that it is that you're specifically hitting a target to.
I was watching a video of somebody talking about the imposter syndrome, and the speaker said it's directly related to ego. Is that true?
Oh, that is so good. Yes, absolutely. So in psychology, we have what's called the ego, the id, the super ego, right? The ego is the very first one. It's the surface level, right? There are parts of us just as human being, you know, when something is going on in front of you, maybe you're having a conversation with somebody, the words that come out of your mouth are exactly what you're thinking. But you know, when they say, oh, there's something in the back of my mind, there's something in the back of your head. Yes, that will always try and trick you or try and protect you. And sometimes that is just an extra powerful or extra confident version of yourself. So when we're talking about imposter syndrome, what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is when you are in a place where you don't believe that it is that you should be in. And sometimes, think about it, why would you be in a place that you don't think that you should be in, even though you are there? That's the part of us that says, oh, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe that's self-doubt. Maybe I should be somewhere else, or I'm intimidated by the room. No, 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 no. You're exactly where you are supposed to be, and you're put into those rooms on purpose. And so that's when ego comes in and it steps in and it tries to convince you otherwise, where you are not an imposter. And it's not an actual syndrome. It's just a moment and the way of your thinking in which how you're showing up at that time.
Let's talk about fear of judgment. We all try to impress our boss. We want to impress our peers, our old classmates, or even bullies we had in high school, right? Do we need to work so hard because we're so scared of judgment?
Here's the thing. The fear of judgment isn't something that we're born with. The fear of judgment is something that we learn. Growing up, sometimes a lot of us go to school. We are put into classrooms with other kids. And kids aren't expert human beings, and neither are their parents. Although we are in an experience where everyone's going to have their own opinion. Think about it. One of the first things that they teach us is our alphabet and our letters. Although we're already looking to the world around us and figuring out what our favorite color is, for example. And so think about the kid that just came into the classroom and they say, my favorite color is pink. And there's two kids right next to them. One will say, pink is an awesome color. And the other person will say, pink is a dumb color. And then all of a sudden, we have all of these ideas on our own mind about our own opinion. And usually, unfortunately, the first thought that our brain goes into isn't the positive comment, it's the negative one. And we remember those negative comments. And because we remember it, now we start second guessing ourselves. Oh, you know what? I might change my favorite color from pink because I remember someone once said that pink is a dumb color. No, 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 no. Again, this judgment, this is a learned habit. So when it comes to us continuing to think about that, when we're trying to do our own process or when we're trying to be successful, we have to look deep inside of us and see where is it that this feedback is coming from? Is this a past experience that affected me negatively or gave me a wound or a scar? Or is this truly who I am? And so to answer the complete question, we do not have to think about judgment. We don't even have to think about the fear of it. More, if anything, it would empower us even more to be in a fuller alignment and do the things that we actually want to do if we were to completely remove that. But it's easier said than done, of course.
That was so beautifully said. I've never heard it the way you said it, how the example that you made with color. There are so many times I've changed my hobby just because somebody said it's bad.
Mm,
Or I've had to change the way I wear what I wear because someone said it didn't look nice on me, right? So the way you explained it was it really opened my eye because it's a learned habit. And then
yes.
the negative ones always stick to us. And just an example like came into my mind because I also do social media and I get hate comments. And the hateful comments are more easy to remember than the good ones. The fear of judgment, can we unlearn? Can we unlearn this habit?
Absolutely. Anything that you could put your mind to, we could absolutely do. Like right now, we're in 2026 right now during this recording, and we're sending people off to the moon. Like, yes, absolutely. We have this little cube in our hand that we could just tap around and we could see people and we could contact people on the other side of the world and we could calculate things and we could get an answer to whatever it is. So if all of these things around us are so controllable and so changeable, you can imagine the power that you have within yourself to get rid of something that you learned. For example, I like to think about the Jungle Book. If you ever heard of the Jungle Book, it is basically a story of a little boy that was raised by animals. And, there was actually an article where this happened in real life. Now think about it. That boy that was raised by the animals, or even Tarzan, right? If a person was raised by animals, they're going to continue to think that they're forever an animal until they leave the environment. Now, the person that came into the jungle to rescue that child and take them out of that environment, now it's like, well, this isn't actually where you belong. You actually belong over here in society where there's schools and there's cars and there's streets and there's houses, so much different than the jungle, right? Although, just like something that is so serious as being born and raised in trees and in coconuts is the same, by eating coconuts is the same way that you are able to untrain yourself of a habit of this fear. So for example, when it comes to the fear of judgment, I know it's going to be uncomfortable, and I know it is any habit that you just start because you just started, your brain is not going to start picking up on that. Your brain is going to say, "Whoa, what's going on? We've never done this before." And it is your job and your responsibility and your duty, because nobody else is going to do it for you to train your brain, just like as you were a child. Hey, we don't do this, we're going to do this. Hey, good job at this. This is, we're doing that positive reinforcement to our own selves. And so in order to get rid of the fear of judgment, again, it's going to be uncomfortable. Get ready, get set, because you have to lean into it. You have to get more judgment. The more judgment you get, the more you are accustomed to it. Also, another thing that helps is a reframe, right? Sometimes, I don't know if you've heard this before, but most of the time when you are getting judged is because sometimes the things that that person is saying is a reflection of themselves. And so if we're able to sit with that same thought and say, you know what, they're not calling me ugly, right? Or whatever it is, that negative comment it is that they said. Maybe they're seeing this within themselves. Maybe there's something that they see in me that they're saying about themselves. So why would you be fearful of someone else's insecurities that they're putting on you? While at the same time, sometimes it's not even their insecurities, it's just their negativity. And you could either take it as their word, you know what, I'm going to believe them, or it doesn't matter what it is that you'll say. Sometimes there are strangers that you'll never see again in your life that say some really rude things. And again, you will never see them again in your life. So it's okay. You'll remember it, sure, but it's almost like a forgive and forget. I forgive you for saying that. Forget. There are so many more things coming to you that are so much better, so much positive, that are worth remembering than that judgment.
What are some self-reminders that we can tell ourselves when we get in that negative loop and we forget the blessings we have in life?
Oh, so good. The number one thing is asking yourself, what is going on right now? Not what's going on in my head, not what's going on like right here. Because here's the thing, just as humans, we are reactive people. And sometimes if we don't have that ability of self-awareness, that thought process can overtake us, and it will lead us to saying something that we don't actually mean. If someone says a bad comment about us, we automatically see it something like, okay, you are ugly. I'm reading it, and now all of a sudden my blood is boiling, I'm feeling hot, I'm mad, I'm crinkling my face right now, and then my fingers start typing, and I'm typing a response, well, blah 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 about you, right? But instead, if we were to take a moment, take a pause, and ask, what is happening right now? Right? We're able to take a step back, to take a zoom out. When a friend, for example, tells you a story, as they're telling you this story, you're already having all of these ideas in your mind. You weren't there during the story. You can't see exactly the things that it is that they had seen, although you are making a picture in your mind and in your head. And then we go ahead and respond with our words. Although the difference in between a friend and, let's say, a coach or a therapist or someone that is paid or has a life experience of gaining their perspective, they're able to take that moment and take that pause, right? So in that same first example, if someone were to call you ugly, instead of being reactive, we could ask, what's going on? What actually is going on is that someone took the time out of their day to really analyze and really see who it is that you look like physically, and they had their own opinion. And their own opinion is going to be based off their experiences and what it is that their preference is. And I am not their preference. And so going full circle with your idea, gratitude. Thank you so much for letting me know that I'm ugly. I understand that I'm not your cup of tea and I'm not your preference, although I hope you have a great day. Awesome. When you meet something with gratitude, sometimes you can just shut it down to the floor and people are just in awe, like, what did they just say? Or we have those trollers that literally just say it just because whatever. Although full circle, right? We're able to face that with another perspective by just asking ourselves what is actually going on. And we could keep on going with other questions, although the main one is perspective. What's actually going on right now?
One takeaway I had with the previous question was to lean in. There were many times I was super avoidant, but when you said we have to actually lean in to those negative, judgments, the more you lean in, it becomes, you said it becomes less painful.
Yes. Less
Yes. So,
scary.
what would your tip be for people who are avoidant? Because they're scared of judgment.
Here's the thing. Maybe you've heard this quote before that the roughest seas are given to the toughest sailors. And so that challenge that's given to you right then and there that you want to avoid, that you want to run from, that you want to pretend that it's not even happening, it's happening to you for a reason. And here's the thing, we usually only see ourselves with exactly what's going on in front of us. We're not giving ourselves that perspective that we were just talking about right now. We're only seeing what's happening in front of us right now in this exact moment. And then we have the choice. Remember that ego? Ego is here saying, "Oh, run away right now, get away from this. Oh my God, this is a danger zone. You know what? We don't want to be a part of this. Run away." But there's a deeper part of you that tests the limits. That little voice in your head that says, wait, what if you stay? Like, what if something good happens out of this? Right. And so, to the avoidant person, I would say and ask, what is it that you're really avoiding? What is it that you're running away from? What is going on right now that you're not liking? That is not your preference. Most likely, Rika, right now, if we ask those questions, most likely it is something that they have already been doing for years. It has been a learned behavior, and it goes so far as to childhood trauma. I'll give you an example. I was in college and I was playing collegiate softball, and I had to get $1,000 sponsorship. And so I didn't know how to fundraise this, although there was a speaker that came into the room one day and presented to a lot of the athletes. And so in my head, I said, you know what? Maybe I should ask him for that $1,000 sponsorship. And so instead of me going up and asking him, I decided to ask a teammate of mine, and I wanted that reassurance within myself. And I asked her, hey, like, do you think I should ask him for the sponsorship? And she looked at me like if I was crazy and said, no. Are you crazy? Absolutely not. And so, right then and there, I sat down, and there was the avoidant part of me that didn't want to give this person pushback. And there was also the avoidant part of me that neglected my own self and my own original idea of even going up and asking the question. Now, fast forward a week later, same exact situation happens where we had another speaker come and present to us. I had the same thought, but this time I asked a different person. And that person had said, yeah, Gigi, go ahead and ask them for that $1,000 sponsorship. And because I had this person next to me, I automatically thought, wow, now I'm more courageous. Now I have more encouragement to go ahead and do the thing. And so, because I did the thing, you know what ended up happening? That $1,000 sponsorship turned into $2,500 sponsorship that I just had to ask the question for. And so, what was I really avoiding? I was avoiding having the conversation. I was avoiding that self-trust that I should have had in myself, where I went to others to get that reassurance. Although I have a choice, and so do you if you're listening to this and you've been avoiding certain conversations, you've been avoiding that idea that you had in your head because of A, B, and C person that told you this, or judgment or fear. It is your duty to lean into it and observe what is it that you're actually avoiding, because most likely you're avoiding the very part of yourself that wants to grow, that wants to learn, and most likely will be much more successful and much more appreciative of what is the outcome and the result of your courage rather than the fear, and that leaning into rather than the avoidance.
That was so powerful. It brought so many moments of me going to people and getting their advice. I've pushed back my podcast, like projects, because I've always listened to other people. Now I tell myself, I should have just done it earlier. I should have never asked.
That's usually the case, yes.
So your story, like just right away, resonated with me, and it was very powerful. Let's talk about being a life coach. What are the rewarding
Yes.
moments of
Oh,
being a life coach?
so good. So good. Growing up, I always thought, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And so, what I love more than anything is speaking to people. If it were for me, I'd speak to a rock, I'll speak to a wall. Fine. As long as it responds back to me, I want to know a little bit more about it. Although, the most rewarding part about being a life coach is seeing people succeed, is seeing them finally accomplish the thing that they've been delaying. It's getting that feedback of, oh, I used to have a mentality of like, I should have, I could have, I would have done this. But because we worked together, you did it. You're able to come back to me and say, oh my gosh, Gigi, you know what it is that I did? You know what it is that I accomplished? Oh, I did the thing. I tried the thing that you had told me, and it ended up being so much better than what I thought it was. You're never going to know until you actually do the thing. And the most rewarding part for me is getting the feedback that the person did exactly what it is that they wanted to do, and they achieved a positive or even extraordinary result than what it is that they had expected from the beginning. So overall, it's just seeing my people succeed, seeing my people win, seeing my people get closer to their dreams.
You have such a lovely aura, and I can just feel it through the screen through the screen.
Here you go, here you go.
Very, very, very very impactful. So, what is an actionable advice people can start taking like today or even like tomorrow in order to get rid of fear of judgment?
Something that you could start right now, and we could actually do it together right now, like already, because we're here having the
Mhm.
conversation. There might be something in the background that's going on, right? We're gonna go ahead and do it together. It is something that we were born with, and it's something that before we leave this earth, it's something that we're going to do. Ready? We're gonna breathe. So let's take a inhale all the way in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it out. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That's what's called a it's almost, a lot of people call it a different ways. I call it just a 4 second breath, where you're able to inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, let it go for 4 seconds, and then hold that for 4 seconds. For some reason, and I've seen this psychologically, actually, all of the meditation apps advise that same thing when you're trying to gain your focus, to really see what's going on in front of you. Because we breathe every day. We're breathing right now, but we are not necessarily controlling it. And there's a certain type of slowdown that it takes for us to really regain what's actually going on right now. And so, in anything that you do, if you want to become more aligned, right? If you want to be more centered with what's really going on right now, just breathe. I know it sounds woo woo wah wah, depending on who it is that's saying it, right? Just breathe. Some people, it's over dramatized, but it's so true. It's something that's so simple. You are already doing it. It's just now we're going to do it controlled. You are going to be able to notice it. You are able to become more aware, and your nervous system feels something. Could you imagine if you are about to get into a fight with somebody and doing that breath work before the fight? I don't think you'd want to fight anybody after that. Unless you're a professional fighter, right? Before you get into the rink and you're doing that breath work, now you're more centered and you're ready to get into the ring. But the more you breathe, the more you focus on your breathing, the more centered you are able to show up. You're a human being. And we make it so complicated. We want 5 tips for this, 10 tips for this, 3 steps of this. Make it simple. Breathe.
I feel relaxed.
Good. That was the goal.
That was so amazing. And I know that people listening to the recording, I'll edit it and upload it. I know a lot of people will enjoy it because I enjoyed recording this. Let's kind of like wrap up. What is your last message to anyone listening right now?
Absolutely. My last message to you, my friend, if you are listening to this, is that there are going to be so many obstacles in your way, people, ideas, past experiences, problems. Guess what? If that happens, you're human. Great. But here's the thing, you specifically are here for a reason because you want to become the best human possible, the one with the highest potential, the one that accomplishes the most amount of their goals and their dreams. And so, in order for you to do that, it's just about self reflection. Nothing else outside of your own body matters. If you look at yourself in the mirror, that person right there that's standing in front of you, that's the person that's going to be able to get that thing done. Although, before you get that thing done, right, give yourself some grace because it doesn't matter who you were before. And right now, you could see yourself as who you are right now, but remember always who it is that you want to be. And so, if you don't take absolutely anything from how much time that we've been together today, it's this: you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You will be exactly where you want to be. Just make those decisions. Make those decisions, and you will absolutely achieve everything that comes to mind. Don't worry about any external factors. The only person that matters is you, the one that's going to do the work and the one that's going to be congratulated for it. And so, as your certified hype woman, I'm so proud of you. I am cheering for you. And let's go.
Yes. Thank you so much. And we'll have to record another episode. We have to record
Absolutely.
again.
I am so looking forward to it.
Thank you for everyone watching this episode. See you in my next video.